Today I'm taking a look at the VEVOR frozen drink maker. Now it does have a little warning here on the bottom: before plugging in, keep upright for 3 hours. For any kind of refrigerant system, I usually say 24 hours. So that just means not on its side or upside down for well over 24 hours. So we got a quick start guide, and that looks nice and simple. On the back side, it does give us some information on the required sugar content. So basically with a machine like this, if you do not put enough sugar, it's going to just try to turn that water into ice. The sugar keeps everything into a slushy consistency. We got our instructions, and I had a little rubber cap and a baby barbell in the bag. Got some quick notes on making different styles of drinks. It says that is a 2.6 liter that uses 60 hertz, 120 volts. Power consumption is about 200 watts. Does that protection against electrical shock, and we got our dimensions right there. So there is our drip tray. I do appreciate that they folded that tape up so I don't have to go picking at that. And this is stainless steel with our coating on top to make sure that it stays protected before we get it. So that just sits on top of our container, and it looks like that will clip into the machine. So again with this, if you can avoid tipping that thing over to pull the machine out, that is going to be ideal because you do want to have that standing upright. So that is a pretty nice looking unit. Lots of tape keeping everything in place. Got a release handle right here. That kind of stinks. Whatever tape they decided to use does leave a little bit of residue right here on there. We could just take that off with some Goo Gone. That's a product I use all the time for glue adhesive stuff. Or we could just ignore it. It's one of those things. Wish they'd used a different tape. But this is our main reservoir. We got a slot on the top. This does have a little slide on it, so the fluid is going to enter through a cavity in the back. We got a really neat looking pour spout on there. So pulling this lever is just going to lift up that gate. And that opens up a hole in the back so that everything can be delivered through the bottom. This is our auger. So we got a little squared off opening there in the back, and that is going to sit on our shaft right there. We got another warning right here. Make sure we got this thing sitting up for 3 hours before we use it. It looks like assembly and disassembly is nice and easy. It's just a matter of pulling that lever. The whole thing comes apart. I believe, yes, we do also have a drip tray underneath. Even if we empty this guy out, there's still going to be a little bit of residual fluid there in the back. That will drip into the bottom. You can wipe this guy off and pull this tray out, and we'll make sure that everything will be contained. So good design there. On the back, we got a whole lot of ventilation. We got some more tape. This actually peels off no problem. It's just on this material. I don't know why. But we can see we got a fan up there at the top. We got our radiator right here. Not really a whole lot else to it. So I'm just going to get a soapy sponge. I'm going to wipe this off. I'm going to take this to the sink and wash everything out, and then we'll put it all back together. So it looks like this rubber pad is actually a replacement for that seal there in the bottom. And this pin is actually a replacement pin for the hinge right here. So this guy can actually just pop right off and make it a heck of a lot easier to clean all this stuff, which is great. We can see that mechanism, and we can see that this pin is just a screw. So it would loosen that guy up and run it right through there if we ever needed to replace it. Probably not going to happen, but it is nice that they included these replacement parts. So I've got some lemonade. These are 1.89 liters each. We're going to fill this guy up, and if we look on the front, we can see that we have our minimum and our maximum line. So when we fill this up, we need to at least hit the minimum line, just because you do not want to be freezing that thing up without having something to actually cool down. Okay, and that did fill up just below the max line. Yeah, drip tray just clicks right in. That's great. So that is a touch operation. We got our on-off button there on the bottom, and we can adjust our thickness right there at the top. I'm just going to keep that at 3, and I'm going to set that for Slushy. Then hit start. Okay. And we are running. Okay, so it has been 30 minutes. We are getting quite a bit of ice in here now. So I suspect that is going to be done pretty quick. It is worth keeping in mind that I did start with this at lukewarm temperature, so room temperature. If you had chilled that in the fridge before you put it in there, it would probably happen a lot quicker. It'd probably be done right about now based on what I'm seeing in this container. It does say for best results, cool the liquid before adding it to the container. And for lemonade, you should probably just do that in general anyway. I'm just going to continue as is, and we will see what we get. Okay, so we are at 40 minutes, and that is looking like a slushy to me. It does have a bit more to go, but I'm interested to see what we got right now. There we go. So yeah, it's a little thin, but that still looks excellent. That is just about perfect. That tastes extremely good. So I don't even really have to go much colder than that. I could actually go even thinner. So right now we are on 2 bars. I could probably even put that at 1 bar. See what happens if we put that at 1 bar. I think it's still going to keep on cooling down. No, right there. So we got cool. So this is the consistency it would keep it at if I wanted 1 bar. Or we could make that thicker cooler, essentially, just going to bring the temperature down more. But that is going to be to each their own, and depending on the media that you put inside. But that is awesome. So yeah, overall, that is an awesome slushie machine.